Hello.
Awkward wave.
Yeah. So we don't do videos like ever, so we're gonna try this.
Very rarely.
Um, we're gonna do the 2021 vinyl tag, um, and we'll
Because
see
we
how it
have a
goes.
lot to choose from.
So we'll see how it goes. So the first one was a band that you discovered in 2020. They've been around. I just didn't know about them. I found them on Bandcamp, but I went with Man Man. I believe that's how it's pronounced. It's Man. I assume that's what it is.
Mon Mon.
Mon something.
And I picked Homeless Gospel Choir. I actually had a barista recommend this to me based on a shirt they were wearing that I really liked, and I found them and I was like, ooh, I like that a lot. So, fun little 2020 discovery. Something good had to come out of the year, right?
Uh, the next one was a quarantine buy. We did actually a lot of purchasing during quarantine, just a lot. A lot of it was also we were trying to support indie bands also, or more indie bands,
Or small record
or
shops.
small record shops. That too. This one's kind of a smaller band. Some people know of them, but Ludo, You're Awful, I Love You. We bought this and their self-titled from their record shop.
And I picked, we finally gave Father John Misty a try. I'd heard about him a lot from other people, and it was just one of those like, oh, why not? Let's listen to him, and I got it. I liked it a lot.
Now the next one is a LP that you want to find this year. This is also a band that I had heard of, but I never really listened to. But I'm gonna go with Ballroom Thieves, A Wolf in the Doorway. The only copy I can find right now is on Discogs for like $200, and no, just no.
I've got two that I would love to find. One is The Offspring's Rise and Fall, Raging Grace, and the other is In This Moment's Black Widow. I would really like those two albums. That would be great to find in 2021. I'd call that
Also not for like $200.
well, yeah, I know.
Yeah, like reissue. A reissue would be
Yeah.
nice.
I'd take a reissue.
Yeah, I have
That's
no problem
fine.
with reissues, especially when they're very expensive, and you're probably going to hear a dog. The next was Just Show a Box Set. I'm going to go with the box set of the score, not soundtrack, the score for Back to the Future. It's got all three of the movies in there.
And I picked one of my most treasured possessions is the Cake box set because if you know your vinyl box sets, not cheap. Definitely not. This is definitely one of the more expensive box sets we ever purchased, and I love it. They're all beautiful, and I love Cake.
And she lies. It's all empty.
Yeah,
No, we
it's
got them
empty.
separated.
They're up in the thing, so that way we can listen to them more
Easier than
frequently.
pulling them out of a box
Yeah.
set each time.
Yeah.
The next one's a concept album. I'm going with a band that I've found actually on Facebook, I think. But they're a prog psych band out of the UK called Church of the Cosmic Skull. And if you are very nice and email them and you want to purchase one of their albums, they can try to hook you up with a signed copy. They have like 3 albums out right now. And they go with the theme of church, so it's brothers and sisters. Brother Bill just put out a solo album this year.
And I picked for my concept album Nine Inch Nails Downward Spiral because, of course, it's Nine Inch Nails and gotta have love with Trent Reznor, who worked on the soundtrack of Soul, the new Disney movie. So, fun little factoid.
So the next one is an album where the band changed their sound. I don't actually have the album. I've got what they used to sound like. I'm going with Lit. They originally were like a metal band, then they went to the alt rock, and now they're country. Yeah. It's a far departure. I do not have the album. In all honesty, I probably will never get that album.
And you'll have to ignore the price tags, but I picked Apocalyptica's Shadowmaker because for being a mostly instrumental band, they released this one with significantly more lyrical songs with it, which not a bad sound, but definitely different. I really started listening to them mostly for their Inquisition Symphony album. Really liked the Four Cellos Play Metallica, stuff like that. Not saying the lyrics ruined it, it just definitely was in a different direction. So.
And we weren't covering the price tags to hide the price. It was mostly because it takes away from the album artwork.
Yeah.
The next was a white label promo. To be honest, I think we only have one. She found a promo that
it's not white label.
She finds funny, but I'm going with Dio. Yep. The Holy Diver album. And yeah, it's got the stamp, and sure enough, it has the white label.
I just basically wanted to show mine to say, I have Dennis Leary's asshole. And it has, right on there for promotional use only, all that. We have it, and it's just, it's funny. The B-side is the traditional Irish folk song, but not as funny as saying that you have Dennis Leary's asshole. Though it probably smells better, just saying.
It's pretty big too.
The hole is pretty big.
Dennis Leary's asshole is a big hole.
Okay.
Next is compilation album. I'm going with one of my favorite artists, actually, and that is Arlo Guthrie. And it's the best of Arlo Guthrie. It's got Alice's Restaurant, obviously. It's got the motorcycle song and the significance of the pickle. Coming into Los Angeles Last Train, a whole bunch of good songs.
My compilation album, we got this Choice Cuts album, and we mainly got it for the one song. So before Ludo did the reissues, the only way you could find any of their songs on vinyl was basically with this. They had Love Me Dead from the You're Awful, I Love You soundtrack. This is the Choice Cuts from 2008. Yep, it's the record store day of 2008. So I have that. And do you want me to do my story one first? Because yours is funnier.
Sure.
And that way it won't upstage. For the story, we picked this particular album of Cherry Poppin' Daddies, mainly because there's only 500 copies pressed of this.
That's what the bass player said.
So when we went to see them at the Tupelo Music Hall, we were able to do a meet and greet afterwards, and we had them sign this. And because of how many band members have changed over the years, we only could get like a couple signatures of people who were on this particular album. So they signed with their old stage names, and they were raving about it, like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen this in years. And it was a lot of fun to see them and have them.
The bass player actually said that he doesn't even have a copy of it anymore. That he gave it to like his daughter's boyfriend or something
like that.
So yeah, they were all pretty shocked to see this.
Yeah, but it was fun, and getting to meet them and talk to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I could remember.
It was something like I think it was just an eBay find.
Yeah.
It was something that we'd gotten because we really liked Cherry Poppin' Daddies and wanted them on vinyl, and found that pretty cheap, and now it's signed.
So,
but
mine is also signed. We actually have quite a few signed albums because we've been lucky. So I'm gonna go with Joan Jett's. I don't even know what the album's called. Album. That's helpful. It's also a promo copy, but it's not a white label promo, so we didn't count it as that. But the funny story on this one is we do comic book conventions. I'm an artist, indie artist, and we got kind of thrown into a weird position where we showed up for a show. We had paid our entry to be in said show, and they
couldn't find us.
They couldn't find where our table was. So the showrunner kind of just was like, "Hey, put them in the hallway." We went
where other people were.
Where there was going to be other people. But in doing so, we were seated next to Ricky Byrd, the guitarist for Joan Jett. It was his first ever show to sign autographs at, and we got to hang out with him, and he was super cool. he brought his daughter, and this is where one of the funny stories is. One of. So we're setting up. He comes in with his daughter, and they're tacking up like, a banner saying, Ricky Byrd, Hall of Fame guitarist.
We hear her say, "Is like, oh, and Dad, don't do that thing that you do."
And he's like, what are you talking about?
Where you tell people that I'm your daughter.
So you can be a rock and roll Hall of Famer and still be some teenager's embarrassing father.
Yep.
And I find that hilarious. Also, they really bonded over SpongeBob, so I drew a picture of Ricky as SpongeBob and gave that to him, at which point he did a drawing for me and gave it to me. He gave me a guitar pick, and what was funny is 2 seats down from us was also two of the guys from Devo. So
Yeah.
we went in thinking we were going to have a horrible show. We ended up doing the best we'd ever done at that show, to be honest.
Yeah, that was a really good show for us.
And because there was no other artists there in our area, we were the only artists. Otherwise, it was musicians and someone else that was doing like knockoff Harry Potter stuff.
Yeah.
Who was also very nice. She was.
And so, for those of you reading the quote,
yeah,
because
So,
the quote itself,
The quote, I asked him specifically to write this. I'm going to take it out so you can see it a little bit better. I asked him specifically to write this. And I know if I can't figure out how to flip the thing, hold your phone up to the mirror. You're probably
the VMAs?
You're probably in the bathroom pooping anyways while you're watching this.
Or it might have even been the Rock and Roll.
It was the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction. He came up to this was when Miley Cyrus was trying to be real cool and say how she always wanted to have sex with Joan Jett.
F.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that.
And
Ricky Byrd came up to the thing and he said, just to be clear, Miley.
Just to clarify,
Miley, we all wanted to F Joan. So I asked him if he wouldn't mind writing that on there. He did. I mean, he censored himself. And then it was funny. He was sitting there and he goes, "Oh man, do you think people would want me to write that on their things?" And I'm like, "Ricky, I'm pretty sure that people would pay you extra to write that on their things." And he's like, "That's really cool." Yeah, Ricky Byrd was super nice. Mm-hmm. It was funny hearing him name drop people like Ace Frehley and other people like that. And then I found out my neighbor actually knew Ricky Byrd.
Sid?
Sid Straw.
Yeah.
She's a folk singer, but I grew up down the road from her. And they were friends. Or are friends. I don't know.
The stories are the longer ones.
Yes.
We're moving on.
Number 10 is something that needs to be released on vinyl. I'm a huge Sister Hazel fan. I'm a product of the 90s. Alt rock. We've seen them, I don't know, half a dozen times or so.
Something like that.
But I got to go up on their tour bus, so that was awesome.
Yeah.
There's another story.
I had to work.
Their entire catalog is not on vinyl. They have a couple singles on 45, which was basically for a jukebox.
And then 20 Stages?
And then they have 20 Stages, which is a live album, which we also have signed by them.
Yes.
Because we meet them several times.
My pick for what I want to be on vinyl is inspired by the last concert we ever got to see, which was Power Man 5000 with Edema, neither of which are on vinyl. And as much as I do love Edema, I really, really want Tonight the Stars Revolt on vinyl by Power Man 5000. That would just be very good.
Yes. So next is a common and a uncommon album. I'm gonna go just Kiss Alive because you can find it in any used record store and you can probably find 3 or 4 copies and then they reissue it. And
yep. I just picked standard Beethoven because I also love classical music. I'm kind of all over the place. You can find Beethoven anywhere. It's not hard.
Most places will give it to you.
Yes, most places will be like, please take it.
I think that's probably how we got that one. It's probably
I think so.
Meshack gave it to us.
Yes.
For my uncommon, I'm gonna go with a band that I actually went to school with. One of the original guitar players. He had left by this time, I believe. But the band's name is Pretty and Nice, and the album's called Get Young. It's got some really good. I don't even know what you would call them. They're a rock band, but they're different. All yeah.
Yeah.
Like Piranhas, Tora is good. Pixies is good.
Yeah.
It's a good album.
Not and you just got Tora stuck in my head. And my uncommon pick is local shout out to local to New Hampshire, Abby Morin. You get to see the reflection of the thing. There we go. I also do love this cover album. I went to school with Abby Morin, did some shows, and they're pretty great. So please give them a find and take a listen. Good stuff.
I didn't
But
realize it's in the top letter.
yeah, because I grabbed it from the thing.
Oh yeah, it's up there.
Yeah.
Next is an EP. I went with, and we don't have fancy covers for them, but I went with a band called Blackberry Smoke, and this one is called Wood Wire and Roses, and yeah, they are fantastic. I got to see them open for ZZ Top, and we actually were able to hang out after the show with them because my dad didn't want to fight the traffic to get out of the venue. So we just hung around, and sure enough, this band came out and just hung out with everybody. So,
And my EP pick is Glenn Hansard. For he was originally in the band Swell Season, which was featured in the movie Once. So if you know the movie Once, the music from that is him and Marquetta.
you're looking at me like I know.
I know. I'm sorry,
I've
but
never
I
seen
love
Once.
his voice and his solo stuff is great. So here's his EP, Drive All Night.
It's pretty fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Next is a girl group. In doing this, we found out
our
we
heads
have
are
no
shaking.
girl groups.
Like all straight up girl groups. We have a lot of female fronted.
Yeah, so we went
bands.
with the one that had the most female fronted band.
And we saw these lovely women in concert, Bones UK. But Bones UK because there's an
American band called
Bones. They were amazing. They opened for the Struts and were fantastic, like absolutely wonderful. So huge shout out, love it. And we have plenty of female singers. We have solo singers. We've got all kinds of stuff like that. But as far as
no full on
bands,
female groups.
no. Yeah.
It is what it
We've
is.
got a
Next would be cover art that you like. If anyone's keeping track, we're on question 14. I'm going with a band called I Fight Dragons, and it's Canonize. And sorry for the glare. You can tell that we're not like professional YouTuber people. We don't have microphones.
Well, why not? Damn it.
I guess we could get time.
Yes, time.
Mostly time. We have a
Child.
4-year-old and work, and then I do freelance artwork at night. So
yes, and I am too exhausted to function usually. Favorite cover artwork. I do love Flyleaf's cover right here. I love it. We used to have it up on display when we were framing some of our signed records, and then we took down some of them to make room for other things. So this is just one that I really like, just the being out in space and the kind of collage style. I really liked it. So, and it's signed, yes. So. And it's very pretty blue.
An album that you listen to the most. I listen to this one a lot, especially when doing artwork. Not necessarily always on vinyl because I have the download and everything, but a band called The Devil Makes 3, and this is their live album, Stomp and Smash. Fantastic. It's what I call newgrass. It's like bluegrass, but of modern subjects and stuff. And we got to meet them and signed. The fun thing is they are technically a California band, but the two guys in the group are from Vermont, and the female bass player is actually from New Hampshire originally. So,
my album I listened to the most, especially in 2020, I'm realizing though has nudity on the front. Do I need to block that out? So, Amanda Palmer's "There Will Be No Intermission." has gotten me
Oops.
through
There. Yeah.
a
I'm
lot
doing bad at
of
this.
you were very bad at this, has gotten me through a lot of this year. Being a mom, being a working mom, middle of a pandemic, all the thoughts, all the feels. I've listened to this album a lot this
Yes,
year.
you do.
Yeah. So I mean, it only came out with either late 2018 or early 2019. I saw her in concert 2019. Amazing show. Yeah, but I've listened to it quite a bit.
So, an album that you have to have the original, the OG copy of it. There's nothing I really need to have. I mean, there's some. The one I chose, it's literally the only release of it. So, and I can guarantee that almost nobody's heard of these guys. This is my cousin's band, from the '80s, and as the album cover would tell you that. He's my cousin through marriage and stuff. I don't remember exactly how, but he's the drummer. His name's Gary. AOR style rock and roll album oriented rock.
Just stuff with John Bon Jovi. So.
He
helped produce.
No, John Bon Jovi actually. I guess he had like written some songs for them, but they never got to record and release them. Hirsch Gardner is the producer for this. He was from the band New England, and also solo stuff. How one of their albums got made this is on Swine Song, but I believe that's a extension of. Oh, I can't. Of course, now I can't remember it. It's like a sub label of a bigger label. And how they got the ability to record this is they actually went up to Canada and won Rock Search Canada. They were the only American band there, and they beat all the Canadian bands. So that's how they got this produced.
Yeah, similarly, I didn't have one that I had to have the original pressing of. But this was also part of 2020 Discovery, but April Smith and the Great Picture Show, when we went to go get her album from her website, even though we bought it this year, this is still the 2010 pressing. Because that's all they ever made, and I got one, yay! A lot of fun, by the way, if you do like it. She's just like it. It has, I'm going to call it what, songs for a sinking ship for the whole sea shanty TikTok trend. I'd say,
Get it without the glare.
It's fine. Like she doesn't have straight sea shanty style songs, but it's definitely in the jaunty tune style. I do like her a lot. She had some good stuff, which is why I bought the album. So I liked it.
The last album purchased, I am going with the Black Pumas. I actually heard them perform at President Biden's inauguration, and that's where I went, oh, I've seen the album a few times, but didn't really know what they sounded like, and man, are they good. They are really, really good. So I got the deluxe edition, which also has the extra live stuff and extra EP, little 7-inch single.
And literally bought today, The World of Piaf. I don't know if it's Edith or Edith Piaf, but it's got La Vie en Rose, it's got Non Je ne regrette rien, it's got all that fun stuff, for the French Parisian lovers out there. I did get this nice little steal, like $2, something like that. I might have even overpaid for it, but I don't care. I like it, so got it.
It's hard to say that you overpaid for something that was $2, but...
Well, who knows? That might be another one that's
there's probably been some.
Yeah.
Albums that someone won't get, or there's a good chance that people don't get it. I'm going with Matt Berry, Phantom Birds. This could have been under the concept album too, because his albums are very story driven. And yes, it is signed. The funny thing about Matt Berry also is, if you've ever seen the IT Crowd or What We Do in the Shadows,
the TV show,
the TV series version, he's in it. He's a super funny comedian also. and comedic actor, but it's actually really good.
Like psych
And
jazz.
yeah, it's like psych
Yeah.
jazz, and you wouldn't expect it from him.
I picked John Benjamin's Jazz Daredevil. It's like, well, I should have learned how to play piano. I find this album hilarious. It is, he basically went in, he's like, hey, I want to do a jazz album. I want to play the piano. And he got like amazing backup players, all this. He's like, by the way, I don't know how to play piano. And so, it starts
It
off
shows.
with this like, really like swinging beat. You got the saxophone, you got the drums, you got all this, and then you just hear bloop, 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 and he's trying so hard. I listened to this whole thing laughing the entire time. It did not die down for me. I loved it so much, and I know other people who listen to it and they're like, what? What is happening? I absolutely love this. I think it's brilliant.
But then again, if you know H. John Benjamin, you'd understand.
Yeah, yes, but I really like this, and I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. It was mine, so because it was it was something.
Or John H. Benjamin. A punk album. I'm going very literal with this. Gypsy Punks by Gogo Bordello. Fun Ukrainian-led crazy man Eugene Hutz.
Yes.
A
lot of fun in concert.
Yeah, we've seen them a couple times in concert. Just crazy fun. They're most known for the song Start Wearing Purple. So yeah, Underground World Strike, Gypsy Punk Underground World Strike by Gogo Bordello.
I went classic, hard to argue, Green Day's Dookie, because, it's Green Day, it's Dookie. Gotta show love to Green Day. Even if you're still on the Green Day's not real punk, whatever, give them their credit. Credit's due.
Their last album
Dookie's
weird.
good. Well, yes, that's another change their
Oh,
sound.
that could have been. We don't have it. But yeah, it's definitely changes.
And then
it was hard to find a reissue that came out this year, but the last one
weird. It's almost like the presses were slow and delayed and didn't do a lot of stuff.
Well, I mean, they
of the year.
did. It's just
few and
I
far
couldn't really
between.
think. This is the only one I could think of off the top of my head
That we owned.
Yeah.
So
Is,
Coheed and Cambria, which they are fun in concert too. I think you haven't seen them. I have. Yes, they're good. Good stuff.
So that's it. Because we're sharing this one, because I literally, this is the only thing I could think of.
Yeah.
So that's everything. 1 through 20. If I think of it and remember how to do it, I'll put in the description the list of things. So if anyone else wants to do this, I know that we're a few weeks into 2021, so I don't know how many more people are actually going to do the vinyl tag. But this is when we found time to do it. And like I said, we don't normally do videos, so if this actually gets some type of a response where people are like, hey, you did a good job, who knows, maybe we'll go back and find other vinyl tag videos and do those. I don't know.
Because, you're not even seeing all of it. We've got,
it goes down to the floor.
Yeah. It's got over 850, and we're still growing, and
yes,
all that.
So, all right. Well, we kept it under a half hour. If you're watching this in the bathroom, wash your hands, please. Just in general. That's a good rule. But, pandemic and,
Yeah. Stand up before your legs fall asleep.
That too.
All right.
All right.
That's good. Bye. Awkward wave.